just complain with the lighting. The lighting sucks. Sorry.
Oh, it's actually better. Yeah, it's much more. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
But you want to be, yeah.
Oh, I think if readjusted, yeah.
Taylor, hi everyone, I'm Aditi and this is my thesis project, Carbon Current. 1.2 billion people worldwide do not have access to electricity or energy of any form. This is according to the World Energy Outlook. On the other hand, countries like China, India, US are leading in energy consumption. A study conducted by the ERC said Americans collectively spend 130 billion a year on wasted energy, and this is only through standby appliances. A study later published in New York Times found that 56% of all energy produced in the United States is wasted due to a combination of waste that occurs during energy production, but also due to inefficient technology and design. Moreover, 20% of the energy that we use in our commercial and residential buildings is wasted again. So is there a way to, can we have this wasted energy be given to those who do not have it, who don't have access to it? And on a bigger spectrum, how can emergent smart technology today provide solution to critical global issues such as energy poverty, etc.? How might we not just reduce energy wasted, but distribute it amongst those who do not have access to it? Carbon Current is an IoT integrated mobile app that incentivizes a low-carbon lifestyle through energy monitoring and carbon quantification for a home environment. It eventually aims to make users mindful of their consumptions and at the same time crowdsource resources for communities who don't have access to energy and other resources. So what it basically does is it helps you know your home, know what appliances are inefficient, know how much, where are the opportunities of saving. It gives you a carbon equivalent of that energy count that helps you know your carbon emission. And at the end, it helps you donate that the energy saved to those who do not have it. And the way it works is that it has an IoT-based component talking to a mobile device, which helps you visualize the energy pattern, basically gives you a carbon count. And the hardware part is giving you power values in terms of voltage, in terms of number of hours it has been used, etc. And eventually, when you compare it to on a monthly basis, you have the ability to donate this to, as I said, communities. So for this particular project, I see it being used in different scenarios. First of all, it's intended for individuals who are more cost conscious, more environmentally active, for tech enthusiasts, early adopters of smart technology. Also, they live in more cohabited environment than a family home. The second scenario is building owners who would like to adopt this technology for their entire building. They're environmentally conscious, community-driven. And the third side of this is partnership with energy companies and community welfare organizations who would be interested in something like this. So for the energy monitoring part and for this particular timeline, I'm targeting on the scenario of, as I said, cohabitation environment. And hence, New York is a great place to research and to test this product out. And for the second part, which is the donation of energy in terms of money, I'm considering organizations, non-profit organizations like Gridmates and Kiva, who are already doing some works like this. And the way they work is through microloans. So they ask their users to give in money in terms of like $25, as less as that. And the whole concept is based on microloans. Gridmates is more energy-centric, so they try to convert your donation in terms of energy to communities, while Kiva works on a lot of other categories as well, like women empowerment, agriculture, etc. So now moving on to my design process, my first idea was, this is my first prototype for the mobile app. What I wanted to do was to to understand what incentives worked for people. Why would they want to use this particular product? How would they visualize the energy that is being used in their house? And at the same time, to see how it all works in the community. So how driven would I be to see that somebody else is doing better than me? My initial idea was to, if you set some goals, and if you reach your own goals, you get some sort of rewards in terms of coupons. And I sort of deviated from this idea because I did not think that this was the way to go for this particular project, given I'm talking about sustainability and environmental consciousness. The idea of having rewards from places that I did not know were sustainable and environmentally conscious did not really make sense. So I went on to user testing. I tried to understand mainly how people would use it and how incentivized they would be. So, and that's when I decided to drop the rewards part and just concentrate on incentivizing them through their own energy consumption. And after this testing, I went back a step and I tried to understand what my users' goals would be. Would they be interested only in energy saving? Would they be interested only in being environmentally active? And this really helped me out. So moving on to my final design. So what Carbon Current does is that it lets you pair up with other devices, or you have the option of buying the product itself. It then tells you if you've installed your device, whether you need help installing it, or whether you need to buy it. Takes you through the pairing up process and lets you add your bill, where you're adding number of days, you're adding number of the amount spent, and the kilowatt hours. This is just to compare how you're doing this month as opposed to your previous month. It then lets you pick a already existing plan. So say for this month I want to kill all my standby appliances, kill all my phantom power. This is what I'm going to choose, or I have the ability to add on my own goals. So it tells me there's an energy goal, there's a carbon goal, and at the end it tells me how much energy I'm donating. So in terms of visualizations, it shows you a monthly timeline, a weekly timeline, and a daily timeline. So you can identify what your peak hours of consumption are, what your pattern of consumption is, and reduce. In terms of carbon, it tells you it tells you a reference, it tells you a perspective instead of saying tons carbon, and it then eventually lets you donate it through these organizations. In terms of hardware, so I first tried integrating this with Arduino and a Raspberry Pi talking to a web server, and I was able to achieve remote access through to a device, my lamp here, and get some sort of a current reading from it. So this was mainly to test out what would work and whether this current sensor itself would work, and what sort of readings would I be getting in order to finally visualize them. And I'm currently working on trying to pair this hardware with my software, all through HTML and JavaScript, basically. And I would like to showcase this project in the symposium, and then have it demoed in the exhibition. Since the donation part would not work currently, I would like to have a demo video set up for the sake of the exhibition. And that's my project. Thank you.